Hold up. Okay. Something that didn't bother me. You said that Cain took the pendant and left everything else, all the other jewelry.
Aye.
What was so significant about the pendant?
You remember the stories of the eyes of the dove?
Aye.
The pendant was the heart of the dove.
But those pieces were fashioned 1,000 years ago. Weren't there three? There was the pendant, the dagger, and the ring.
Do these look familiar to you?
Aye. Aye, yes.
Now it looks like his trail heads off along the cliff.
All right. You follow the path, and I will try and head him off.
We'll meet in Lochman Bear Grove.
I was raised in a small farming village in the hills of northern Japan. My father was a third-generation farmer, and since I was able to come out on the fields with him, he was teaching me the trade of farming. My mother was a gentlewoman who poured out her love on me, her only son. My father was one of the elders of the village, thus I would often hear some of the finer details of the village important events. Like the surrounding small villages, my village was set in the fertile farmlands of the north. But my village had one major advantage over most others. It had a large, sheltered bay that brought in the occasional trade ship. One such ship came bearing traders and an emissary from Scotland. The elder of my village was given a gift from the emissary, an emerald pendant from the King of Scotland himself. This pendant was a token of peace, love, and honor. The traders and emissary would return every spring thereafter, and this continued for 4 years. The 4th year, they brought exciting news. The king would be accompanying them on their next voyage. Although I was excited to meet him, daily life went on for me. I was 7 now, old enough to spend the long days in the field with my father, and my days were consumed with preparations for the coming harvest. The day came, and we all watched in anticipation as a large ship sailed into our harbor. But the men on the ship were unfamiliar, and their faces were hard, not welcoming like those of the emissary and his men. We watched in horror as they drew swords and charged us. Being a proud people, we tried to fight back, but they were ruthless and well-trained. I remember watching in shock as my own father was cut down. I managed to escape their notice, and fled through the night, ending up in the undergrowth near the lead elder's home, just in time to watch as he was also killed by one of the men. At that same moment, a new figure emerged from the shadows. This man looked like the emissary from Scotland, but more important, I saw him kill the man who slaughtered the elder. But then, he took the pendant. The man had a matching emerald on his dagger, as well as one on a ring he was wearing. After that night, I stumbled aimlessly around the hills. After 4 days with no food or water, I finally lost all strength and fell on a small deer path, where I waited hopelessly for death to take me, slowly losing all consciousness. But someone must have found me before death took its toll, because when I awoke, I found myself in a monastery. The monks nursed me back to health, and in turn, I stayed at the monastery, where the monks trained me in the art of fighting. Driven by anger and wanting to take my vengeance upon the thieves who stole the pendant and killed my father, I quickly surpassed the monks in their ability to fight. For 13 years I lived with the monks, training and waiting for the chance to strike back at those Scottish backstabbers. Finally, my opportunity came when the news arrived that a Scottish noblewoman was looking for a warrior to help her. I quickly answered the call, relishing the chance to finally go to Scotland. Hopefully, this voyage would bring about more than her fight. Perhaps now I would find the men who took that pendant, and at long last avenge the slaughter of my village.
Grand soft morning, isn't it? You must be from out of town. Most people say hello when they approach a fire.
Most people don't know I'm here until they're dead.
You enjoy slaughtering helpless young maids, then?
No, that one was just for fun.
One more question for you. What do you want written on your tombstone? Why'd you steal the amulet?
I was taking back what was rightfully mine.
How could a foreigner possibly lay claim to an heirloom of Scotland?
It was given to us by a treacherous king!
On what grounds do you make this claim?
It was given to the elder of my village, only to be ripped from his lifeless body. What fool gave you that?
How can an ignorant cuss like you possibly know of its significance?
A bedtime story from my murdered mother.
My father did not murder your village.
I spoke of the king, not the father of a lowlife like you.
I speak of the king also.
Well then, who sent the raiders?
I know nothing of this matter.
Liar! I would have expected more from the Defender of the Eyes.